we are looking now at graphing a vertical translation, which, that means we've got that K, which is 3 in this case. So before we even go into graphing once again, we're going to start off and label our pieces. So we now have 4 options. We have A, B, H, and K. A is 2, B is 4, which means your period is 2 pi over 4, which reduces down to pi over 2. H, there is nothing. There's only an H if you see the parentheses around the X, and then there's a number with it. So there's no horizontal shift, and then your vertical shift is 3. What this means is you are going to have your graph, and it's going to have a period of pi over 2. So that means we are going to be ending at pi over 2 and starting at 0 because there's no horizontal shift. Once we get into a horizontal shift, you will have to take that shift and add it to your period, but right now it's just between 0 and pi over 2. That's pi over 4 in the middle. Cut that in half again, pi over 8, and then pi over 8, 2 pi over 3 pi over 8. Cutting these fractions up, you guys, if you just fourths, eighths, sixteenths, and go on from there and count. The basic pizza is probably going to help you if you struggle with the fractions. Okay, so now the y, there's 2 things that affect it. We have this a value, and then we have this k. I'm going to go ahead and write out my y for my sign normally is 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 0. Between 0 and 2 pi. We already did the x shift, so you guys can disregard the x side of this, but I want to show you the full thing. So y, what we have, if you look, let me erase these little markings on there. In our original equation, we have sine 4x, then you multiply it by 2, and then add 3. So we applied the 4 to this left-hand side. Now the 2 comes in. So that means we're going to be multiplying all of these by 2, and then the last thing is that vertical stretch, or that vertical shift, going up 3 units. So if I go ahead and just multiply it by 2, it gives me 0, 2, 0, negative 2, 0. Now I'm going to be adding 3. So 0 plus 3 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. We got 3 again. 0 and 3. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is just to take every single output and say 0 times 2 is 0 plus 3, and then fill it in that way. Some people need to write down both steps. Some people can do it in their head. It's just easier to catch what you've done wrong if you don't do it in your head. Okay, that's our table. Now we're going to go ahead and graph. All right, so let me go ahead and label my axes out. If you notice, most of the time I kind of gear towards the left side of my axes just because we're starting at 0 and we're going in the positive direction. Once we get a horizontal shift in, you'll want to center a little bit more out, but we'll get there. All right, labeling axes, 0 to pi over 2, so pi over 4, pi over 2. The reason why I'm not doing a big stretch is because you can see this is going 4 times. So the whole point is I want to show that it's going really fast. And then we've got 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, and then 0. And that's everything we need labeled. So going ahead and plotting the points. So that's one period, and obviously I could continue it on. And it would go back up to here, down, here, up. And you can see it continues on forever and ever. Make sure to have those arrows at the end. So this is condensed. It's going 4 times as quick. So it's speeding up the period by 4. And it's stretching the whole thing. So it's pulling that gum, and then it's shifting the entire thing up 3 units. So this is a 3-parter. So they are getting more difficult, but taking it step by step is going to be key. And I'm going to have a couple more, probably about 4 more examples in this lesson, just to walk you through more graphing.